To another episode of What's in the Box. I let it slip a video or two back about some wiring specialty stuff, so if you caught that, that's what I've been working on. So you hadn't seen me work on the S13 much as far as the wiring. I got into that and I realized I didn't want to do that. So got a package from Wiring Specialties. Those guys have dealt with me changing my mind on 2 or 3 different things. They have, which I've been patient with them because they've got a new product that just came out, and I was one of the few that actually got this so far. It's still kind of being R&D'd, so it's all still new. It comes with a warning right on the top here. Pro Series harness require battery cable to connection to the starter for proper power up. The harness has a starter power pickup, not a supply. Do not make any changes to the wiring. Installation guides located on the Wiring Specialties website under support DOCS docs. Look for your specific install document here. And if unsure, they've got a phone number here if you have any questions. So this is about the auxiliary connector. Some information on the wiring harness itself. Let's get past this stuff. Let's get to the good stuff. Okay. Well, we have another. This is our 3rd ECU Masters EMU Black. Our 3rd one. Yeah. This is what we'll be running in the S13. We have our AEM gauge, our wideband. Let's see what else we got. Pretty excited about this package. Some type of, that might be for the throttle body or something. That looks like a to kill the drive-by-wire or something. I'm not really sure what that is. I'll have to figure that out. So a loose connector just chilling in here. A boot to put some of the wiring in. Alright, so what we got is, that's the intake air temperature sensor. So what we got is the Wiring Specialties the Pro harness. And yeah, this thing's pretty impressive. I hadn't had anything Wiring Specialties yet. Been kind of looking forward to it. There's where we hook up to our ECU. There's some, I have to check. That's probably what the notebook information was, you know, these plugs and stuff for extra stuff. I think those are for different options. I'll have to check into that. There may be more to that. And as we unroll this thing, we see more and more plugs. Okay, so with everything I've got here, there's this this intake air temperature sensor, and it'll actually have the weld piece, so that way you can pick up your intake air temperature sensor for your EMU black to read. But on these wires here, so like this harness itself, I was reading on it, it's got starter signal, I think I've seen air conditioner, tack, different relays. That's a relay, switched for the ignition, so like something that when you turn the switch on it powers up. Alternator, charge signal, I think what actually voltage it's reading, check engine light, fuel pump trigger. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff here, so it all depends if you put your a lot of this stuff on a switch and you're not planning on you know, controlling it with just a computer, and you want, like, you know, boom boom boom, you flip your switches, your fans and all that. I'm not 100% sure that this has to be hooked up if you're going to put your starter on push button and the basic stuff like that. So I think this is optional. If there's nothing on here or extra you want to wire in, I don't think you have to run this. I'm pretty sure after looking at it. There's another one here that's got wires loose, EGTs, it's a sensor wire, 6-volt sensor, analog sensor, I guess just a 12-volt power source. So some of this may sensor ground, some of this may be optional too for different things, because we also have, this AEM wideband. I think this will actually plug into your wideband, and I don't necessarily have to have this on this setup because this will read it. This is merely for display if I want to keep up with my wideband live as I'm driving. If I want to notice my air fuel drops or anything changes, that would be the only reason I would run this gauge. But I think everything's going to be plug and play minus these two harnesses, which I think are going to allow options. So I think everything else is going to be pretty much just click, 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 and roll with it. I'm not sure what these are. It may say it. Doesn't say on there. But anyway, one thing I did have them do is, how like the 2Js and 1Js are batch fire, which means it's one coil per 2 plugs. So like, I don't really know exactly right offhand, but like the last coil runs the first plug, but I think it runs the last one too. So 1 and 6 run off of the same coil. Well, the way I've got them to wire this is that the coils are individual, and I'm going to run the LS coils. So I had them wired for individual coil packs while I bought this harness. So I don't have to buy the adapters. There's a conversion kit that goes from the 6 or the batch fire to where, I guess, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's individually, each cylinder has its own coil pack now. So we're going to run the LS coils. So I had them put the ends on for the LS coils. And it should be the basic sensors, the rest of the harness. And I'm pretty sure these two plugs are for optional things, which that one I may end up running that one to add in some starter signals and maybe a fuel pump kick on with the switch. We may do that. I'm not really sure where I'm going with it yet, but everything's labeled. Like right here is crank sensor for a boost solenoid. If I'm going to run some kind of type of boost solenoid, that's going to probably be an option too, because I may be running a manual boost controller by then or something, I don't know. But this is just, all I got to do is wire it into the computer. The computer runs everything. The EMU Black will run everything, and they set up this harness to make it so. That way the computer can run everything. You have everything can be wired in directly to this harness. It allows, the extra wires to do so. So this is actually the way to go. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not cheap. This ain't cheap. at all. You can do the math. You can get on their site and plumb, click on some of these things that I've added in here, and then figure out what these two things are. You're gonna see it's not necessarily cheap, because I mean it's pretty pricey actually, but simplify. So now on the S13, I don't have to splice all the harness together and all this crazy stuff. I don't have to, this will be the whole engine harness will be done with this. So I don't have to drag a bunch of different things out in the computer, just bam, 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 and I'm locked in. So now we have to worry about the chassis harness is the only thing we have to worry about. So the engine bay harnesses, that's remedied right here. We're done with the engine bay harness. That's it. This is all that goes in there. Besides, like the chassis harness will have the lights and turn signals and windshield wipers and that kind of thing. But that's all that is left. This literally will plug my 1J. Yes, my 1J. I'm pulling it out of the black car and putting it in this one. So that's the next step of this. It's coming out of the S14 and going into the 13. But yeah, there's more to this puzzle. There's more coming. So stay tuned and you'll see where this rabbit hole has taken me and what all else we got. We have more coming for the S13. Should be here in the near future, so stay tuned. We appreciate you guys watching the video. Like, subscribe, do all that rigmarole. You know how to hit the bell. That way when we post, you get our new videos. Guys, we appreciate it. Appreciate everything. But yeah, just stay with us and see what's coming. We have a lot more coming. I'm getting cold chills thinking about it. There's a lot more coming. We're building a drift car, so you can only imagine what all's going to be thrown at this, and it's a lot. Still got a lot left, don't get me wrong. There's still a lot that's not done, but there's a lot that is done. Behind the scenes kind of thing. I'm not filming everything. I don't have the time to get everything, but I'm almost caught up with videos, as crazy as that sounds. I mean, so the drifting videos are almost back to back with nothing in between, because I've had so much going on here lately. It's just hard to get any in between. But when we go drifting, there's nothing else I can do. We're drifting, that's where we're at, that's what we're doing through the day. And Art's actually been filming a lot for me, so I appreciate that, Art. But this is the new stuff. So thank you ECU Masters, Wiring Specialties. Every step of the way they called me, we touched base. They walked me through some of the options that I didn't know that I wanted. Down the road options, that's extra harness and stuff to add in stuff. Yeah, this simplifies everything. And this is the Pro harness with the individual coil pack setup for the S13. So yeah, and it plugs straight into the ECU Masters EMU Black. I don't have to do anything, but if I want to add or take out anything, they've provided extra harness entirely for extra provisions to, and they gave me a diagram that gives me all my wire schematics. Yeah, this is the way to go if you can afford it. Absolutely simplify it, make it easier on yourself. Go with this harness. I did the 1J where you wire it yourself thing. Not a fan. Not a fan. I had mass airflow issues. It would crank and die, then it would crank and I couldn't cut it off. And I mean, I went through all the videos that I could, went through wiring diagrams, and it was just pain. I'm not a wiring guy, just not. And I kind of reconfirmed that on the S13, so I did this and just walked away from it. Got the EMU Black. I'd rather be drifting or something besides doing wiring, I'll admit that. Anything besides wiring. So I just kept it simple for myself. Got on Wiring Specialties. They gave me some deals, gave me some good deals, but I bought a few things from there. So, and this is our third EMU Black. I even said that before, but this is our third one of these. And you know what these things run. And then this harness is not cheap. But hey, drifting is not cheap. So it is what it is at this point. I may end up selling the S14 once I pull the 1J out. I may 2J it and drop one back in it. I may not. So Wiring Specialties is the one-stop shop for your wiring harnesses, for your SR swaps, for your 2J swaps, 1J swaps. I'm feeling high.
I